Hi guys, we're going to do a lymphatic drainage for the face. So this is really good if you've got sinusy stuff and headaches. We use 2 sites for the start of the big 6. So if you do this first, you can then complete the rest of the big 6. So do this and then go to armpits if you know what the big 6 is. Okay, so we're going to get started. We're going to go above the collarbones first. So you press into this space here. So if I move my head to the side, you'll see there's a muscle here and it's just slightly what we call to the midline, to the middle of the body. Now this lymph site is behind the collarbone, so you kind of want to press in and down. But all of the lymph nodes are quite superficial, so they're close to the walls of your body, close to your skin. You don't have to press very hard. And there are different techniques that you can use. So you can either rub, tap, or kind of pump by pressing in like this. So all of those techniques work, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter how you get them moving. You're just trying to get your lymph moving and stimulated. So any technique that feels comfortable for you, that's fine, that's good, that's right, use that. So first site, as I said, is above the collarbone. So you're just going to press in and down. As I said, you don't have to go very deep and you're going to get that moving. If it's sore, then you know it's full. And we want to do whichever technique you're using, you want to do about 10 of those movements. I also suggest being intuitive. So if you do press and it feels sore and you do a little bit more than 10, it might lift. You might feel more comfortable and it might feel less painful. And that's how you know that you've drained or started to drain that lymph site. So I encourage you to be intuitive. If it's not changing, if it's not lifting, if it feels uncomfortable, move on to the next one, because you might need to release the next one to release this one. Listen to your body. So next site is underneath this bone. So we're getting to the same one really, but we're getting to it underneath. So you want to try and press in and up. And we do both sides. If you want to do both sides at the same time, go for it. So if I show you, that's the end of my shoulder. This is the end of my collarbone, kind of in the middle. Make sure you do both sides. So in and up. Okay. Next, we're going to the sides of the neck. So whenever we had a cold, my mum would always press into my neck here to see if my glands were full. So you might be aware of this one. This one is quite easy to find, so I just show it's here. You just want to get that moving. Don't be afraid to move things around in here, it's fine. Okay, the next is underneath the jaw. So you want to find the corners of your mouth, go down, and then try and get under your jaw. And I'm just going to try and get under the bone and rub back and forth. This can be really tight for some people, really sore. Now, one thing to consider when you're doing all of this lymphatic work is that if your lymph nodes are full, keep going by the way, you will start releasing them. So you'll start shifting things, moving toxins into your bloodstream. So make sure you drink lots of water. And if it feels like you get this big toxic response afterwards, you get a headache or you feel some symptoms come up, know that in some ways that's good because you've got things moving. But then you need to do the next bit. So lots of water. If you have a red light, use your red light. Maybe a bath with Epsom salts. But a binder is very important. So a binder will bind to these toxins and take them out of your body instead of continuing them around the body. Next site is here. I'll carry on explaining that in a second. So edge of the jaw, you go in. So if you can't find it, open your jaw. Here, a muscle kick into your finger. The lymph is under this, but if you stimulate this muscle, you can get it moving. So you just want to press into the jaw. That can be very tight for some people. Little tip, if you've got tinnitus, you might just need to release this muscle. Okay, so you're just stimulating that. Right. Back to binders. Binders are, here are some examples, chlorella, activated charcoal, and there's two products. One of them is called apple pectin, and the other one is toxaprevent. Either of those would be really good, and you only need one. And if you can take it just before you do this, you get a gold star, because you've got the right timing. It'll be activated, it'll be in your bloodstream ready to catch the toxins. A tip for next time. Okay, next we're just gonna press on the sides of your nose. So right in the corner of the nose, just gonna press. Then we're going to go underneath your cheekbones and try and lift them. So you press your thumbs in and up. Oh, like you're trying to lift your cheekbones. If you go quite close to the nose, you'll really feel that. And then just underneath, and maybe you'll feel it as well. You don't want to go too wide. That's why I like using my thumbs, because I can kind of get all of it. This one can be really sore if you've got sinusy stuff going on. And it's really normal for one side to feel more uncomfortable than the other. Okay, next, underneath the eye socket. So if I close my eye, can you see how far I'm getting in there? You want to get in. You want to get in. So again, I quite like using my thumbs for this one. So I'm going in and up. And remember, you don't have to press really hard. Again, this is one that's often sore for people, especially if you get headaches. So all we're doing is getting it moving. That's the aim. The aim is not to press really hard or cause yourself discomfort. We want to get it moving. So hopefully your nose is feeling a bit clearer. You might have fluid dripping down the back of your throat too. That's all part of it, I'm afraid, but hopefully it feels good. In some ways it's clearing, so you should feel a bit lighter. Next, you're just going to tap your forehead. And then you need to find your temples and go back a little bit, just above your ear here. Get that moving. This one I like dragging the skin around. It really feels like you're moving all the skin on your skull. Which is good for us. We're nearly done. Okay, the last one is you use your knuckles. Go to the back of the neck and just drag down like this. Like you're kneading dough. Sort of side but back of the neck. So from the back and here. Hopefully you saw that. And that's you finished. Remember to drink your water.